Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of No Names All Game Quarantine Edition. Today is Sunday, March 22nd, probably Monday by the time you're listening to or watching this. And the world is crazy, man. So my name is Chris, joined by my co-host Pat. As always, I'm forgetting the intro just because I'm going crazy. Pat, how are you, man? How are you doing with lockdown and quarantine and all this shit?
I keep, like if someone asks me how I'm dealing with it, I'll tell them, you got to stay positive. You got to set goals for yourself. Like try to achieve something every day. But really, I just sleep till 2 p.m. and eat pretzels on the couch.
Pretzels is a pretty good option, though. I won't lie. We were just talking before we started this. My daily go outside is go to the grocery store and buy something new. Like me and my roommate went out a couple minutes ago because we needed pepper and grated cheese, which is stupid. We ended up spending $120 at the grocery store. I'm just hey, maybe we'll want that. Maybe we'll want that. It's a crazy world, but we're gonna try to stay sane. We're gonna try to get through it. This will be a quick episode. Not a whole lot to talk about, but we figured we'll put some content out. Do one of these a week while we're all locked at home. Maybe try to get some guests on, do some fun things. But obviously, before we jump into sports, there is a very serious thing happening in the world. It's affecting a lot of people. We've never seen this before, never experienced this before. And that is, of course, Tom Brady is on a new team. So I think we start there, and then we'll go into some dumb sports talk. Brady going to the Buccaneers, leaving the Patriots for the first time in 20 years, something like that.
Yep.
And the biggest storyline, obviously, is will he be an asshole and take number 12 from Chris Godwin, who rightfully deserves it? Your thoughts, Pat?
I mean, if we're going by last season only, Chris Godwin is historically a better player than Tom Brady.
I like it.
Is all I have to say.
I like it. Sample size. Listen, what have you done for me lately?
The number.
What have you done for me lately? Godwin was a better 12 last year than Tom Brady was.
That's true. These are facts. I dispute them.
Yeah, and obviously, it's half a joke, but if you follow us on Twitter, which I hope you do, at No Names All Game, if you follow us, you know that I've taken my stance. I am officially the leader of the Let Godwin Keep number 12 movement, and I'm sticking with it, man. At first I was like, oh, Godwin probably doesn't care at all, and then the more I put into it, I'm like, he probably does actually. He's a young rising star in this league, making a name for himself. He's worn the number 12 since high school. His
girlfriend is Miss 12 on Instagram.
On Instagram, yeah. Shout out to Nicole. I think one of our followers, Nicole Wood, pointed that out to us.
She used to go to the gym with me back in State College. Nice guy.
Oh, okay. And congrats. They just got engaged.
Congratulations, Chris.
Fiance, not even girlfriend, fiance.
There you go.
But yeah, it's one of those things.
I should clarify. We went to the same gym. We did not go together.
I was gonna ask that, but I figured it was kind of normal there. But yeah, Brady. I mean, my thing is this: Brady is on his victory lap. Let me have fun with another team and make money in a state that I don't have to pay income tax. Everyone's going to know him as TB12 forever, regardless of what number he wears for these last 2 years, because he's going to retire after this. I don't care. Obviously, you and I are Jets fans. We have a disdain for Tom Brady. I think he's done. I think he's on his last outs, and he just wants to have a little fun. So go wear number 10. Go back to your college number. Let this kid, who is going to be your best friend and your best weapon, sure, Mike Evans is great, but go, Godwin.
Godwin had the better season last year.
Let him have it, man. Let him have it. So, yeah, it's been fun. Godwin's done a couple of interviews, and they've all asked him about that. So he was talking with the Tampa Bay Bucks team, reporter, and he was like, yeah, if Tom's not going to make a big deal out of it, or if he doesn't really care, then, yeah, I'm definitely going to keep it. But obviously he's great, and he's the GOAT, and you got to defer to that. And then he was on Bleacher Report, and he said, it's like, yeah, I've been wearing it since high school. I'd definitely love to keep it, but we haven't talked about that yet. So it'll be interesting to see what actually plays out of that.
You know what I think Tom should do is he should take jerseys numbered both 1 and 2 and just alternate every game.
Oh, I don't hate
one game he wears 1, the next game he wears 2.
Yeah, just go back and forth. Guess what? Who wears number 1 or 2 on the Bucks? Don't care.
Doesn't matter. Not Chris Godwin.
Not Chris Godwin. But yeah, it's interesting. NFL free agency is crazy. Obviously still happening through all this craziness. Brady's on a new team. Phillip Rivers is on a new team. DeAndre Hopkins got traded. There's more that I'm forgetting and missing, but at least there's something to keep us going during this time.
Yes. The Jets picked up a center.
Yeah, Jets picked up a couple of linemen. They whiffed on the first round. The top two guys they missed out on, but then they got like four mediocre guys. So we'll figure it out eventually.
Still better than what they had last season.
This is true. A couple other, we'll talk NFL free agency since we're here. Carl Nassib, former Penn Stater, single season sack leader from walk-on to All-American, just got paid by the Raiders. So Carl's been in the league for 4 years. 2016 and 17 he was with the Browns. 2018, 2019 with the Bucks. And in those 4 years, he's made just under $5 million. Not bad. I would take just under $5 million personally. His new
It's a lot
deal,
more than I'm making right now.
yeah, right. His new deal with the Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, 3 years, 25 mil, 17 million guaranteed.
It's a lot.
That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. Carl's played what's the rule? Don't touch your face. I keep touching my face as I'm watching myself doing this. Ugh, yikes. Carl's played in a lot of games. Played at least 14 games every season. And his last 2 years is where he really came on. So in Cleveland, he had 2.5 sacks his first year, 3 sacks his second. In Tampa Bay, he had 6.5 his first, 6 his second. So, obviously the Raiders are seeing something in him. They're picking up a ton of people. They added like 11 free agents, something ridiculous, but good for Carl Nassib, man.
Hell yeah.
The other one I saw just a couple minutes ago or an hour ago, Jordan Lucas, free safety, just signed with the Bears for 1 year, $1 million. It's not quite as much as Carl, but hey, you're making $1 million, man.
It's about $1 million more than I'm making right now.
Yeah, same. He's also been in the league 4 years. I guess they were the same draft class. I didn't remember that. Jordan Lucas spent his first 2 years in Miami, last 2 years in Kansas City. So he's part of a Super Bowl winning team in Kansas City. That's pretty cool. Hasn't played much though. 47 total sacks. That'd be amazing. Total tackles across those 4 years.
Let's say for a safety. Wow.
Yeah, right. Dude, the guy's killing it. No, 47 total tackles over those 4 years, and 32 of them came in the 2018 season. So the other 3 seasons, I haven't paid attention, to be honest. I think he's a special teams kind of guy, a reserve safety, backup safety. I don't really know, but gets to go hang out with the Bears, link up with Allen Robinson, and have a good time. And then, I don't think I've seen anyone else get a contract. The only other thing I saw, Penn State related, Allen Robinson, speaking of, he tweeted the Will Smith happy gift. It's like Will Smith clapping. He's very happy after seeing, I think it was Amari Cooper's deal. Amari Cooper, got 5 years.
Wide receivers about to get paid.
Wide receiver market is going crazy, man. And I know those deals are always reported larger than they actually are. Like Amari Cooper's 5 years, 100 mil. They can probably cut out after 3 or something like that. But I looked it up, and Allen Robinson is entering the last year of his deal with the Bears. He's on a 3-year, $42 million deal, so he's not doing bad by any means, but he can become a free agent. He'll only be 27. He's 26 right now.
Passing league these days, wide receivers are getting paid.
And he's never really had a good quarterback. Like he was.
I was going to say, he's never played with anyone any good.
He was in Jacksonville with Bortles. I love Bortles as a person, but obviously not the best quarterback. And then he's been playing with Mitch Trubisky in Chicago. So I know they just brought in Nick Foles. We'll see what happens there. But it'd be interesting to see what Allen Robinson does if he signs a long-term extension with Chicago. I think he's from that area. I think he's from Detroit, maybe. Or if he hits the open market and gets a shit ton of money to go somewhere else.
Hopefully he goes somewhere with a good quarterback, somewhere like the New York Jets.
Listen, man, I wanted them to draft him so bad.
So badly.
Yeah. They passed.
2 years, they whiffed on him. They whiffed on Godwin. I was livid. And the guys they drafted instead, I think, are no longer on the team.
Yeah, I remember the year at Allen Robinson, they drafted a different position, which pissed me off. Oh no, it was Jason Morrow, the tight end. Of course, I remember it because that guy fucking sucked. That pissed me off, but I was like, all right, it's a tight end, something different. When they passed on Godwin, they picked
that guy from Alabama.
Yeah. Or Darius Stewart. They picked
Darius Stewart,
who's no longer in the league.
2 years.
No longer in the league.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think it's Kajana Carter, because they just drafted Kajana Carter, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
I think since then they just won't draft guys from Penn State.
That's funny. I'll have to fact check that. I don't know if that's true, but I trust you on it. Yeah, could you imagine that? They're just burned. Like, fuck.
I mean, I can't think of one Penn Stater who the Jets have drafted since Kajana Carter.
I can. I just remembered.
Oh, Christian Hackenberg.
Christian Hackenberg.
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah,
Hackenberg
so it's, yeah.
maybe Hackenberg was like, all right,
got burned twice.
We're finally over it. We'll give it another shot. Hackenberg. Fuck. Yeah, so that's Penn State in the NFL news. Allen Robinson will very likely get paid next year. Chris Godwin, if he does give up number 12, I'm sure Brady will throw him like $1 million. So
he should.
That was probably my favorite joke I saw on Twitter. Someone said, like, Godwin's about to get more for the number 12 Bill O'Brien got for DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
It's just really funny.
You know what he should do? He should pay him $1 million for every touchdown Godwin catches.
It's not bad. I mean, he can afford it. The guy's fucking filthy rich. Like,
yeah.
I'll take that. And Godwin, listen, we as the leaders of this movement, we'll take 5%. Not even asking for.
Yeah, we'll also be your contract negotiator / manager.
Yeah. Listen, I'll even go down to 3%. I'll take it. But yeah, that's kind of NFL stuff. But what else? What are people doing to pass the time? Things I'm seeing on Twitter. First is brackets. So there's no March Madness. So everybody's doing.
I've got a good one for
bracket. What do you got?
There is a Twitter account called Virtual NCAAs.
I wrote that down.
The wrestling one?
Yeah, I wrote it down on my notes because I wanted to ask you what it is.
Oh my God!
Let's pivot to that. So one of the other sections we're going to get into is obviously all sports have been canceled, professional, college, everything's down. What really sucks is the spring sports for college athletes who are on their last tours. So Lamar Stevens in basketball, several wrestlers that I know you'll get into here.
I mean, Lamar ended, 7 points shy of being the all-time scoring leader at Penn State?
7 points shy.
That is a fucking crime.
Sucks, man, because he had at least 2 more games.
At least 2 games left, yeah.
Which he's going to score 7. So Taylor Battle remains the all-time scoring leader. But Lamar, I mean, he had, I don't know if you saw it, he had a segment with Scott Van Pelt on ESPN. It was just awesome. You could tell he was hurting, but, very well-spoken, kind of, took it in stride. But it sucks, man. I saw a tweet, Joe Lenardi, who's like the bracketology guy, put out his seedings. Like the NCAA didn't release what people would have been seeded, but he had Penn State as a 6th seed. Like that would have been so much fun to watch.
And I saw one simulation where Penn State won their opening round game too.
Yeah. That's what sucks. Is everyone's doing these like what ifs and these hypothetical brackets. So let's pivot to the wrestling because I want to know what the hell that virtual tournament is, and then we'll go back to some of the others.
So some anonymous man or woman did a virtual NCAA wrestling tournament where they went through every single match. Now this is like I think it's 32 people per weight class, roughly 10 weight classes.
Wait, how do they do it? Like, what do you mean virtually though? Are they simulating this somewhere, or are they just
they just made their own conclusions? Yeah,
they're just writing fan fiction for wrestling.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
I'm okay with that.
They didn't only do like the main bracket; they did wrestlebacks and like the All-American rounds, everything. Every single match, and just tremendous.
Okay,
loved it.
How do we do?
I miss sports so much. I was getting legitimately invested in the results of this virtual bracket. Like he'd write something like, "That's not how it would fucking happen.
Yeah,
There's no way it would go down like that."
Well, it's hilarious because it's someone just making it up. Like there are people doing like simulations on video games and stuff. At least that's a computer. Yeah. Like this is someone just putting their opinion out in the world. I'd be arguing with them too. Yeah. All right, so how do we do?
Overall, it was great though, and I got to say, not only did this person, they didn't just like say, who wins match. They gave scores, and then once it got into like the semifinals, they were describing how the match would go.
Oh my god! Like,
and then
play by play.
Yes,
oh
all the finals matches they did a breakdown by period.
Wow.
Like first period, Nick Lee comes out, gets into a deep single. Luke Fletcher scoots to the edge. Yeah, it is incredible.
That's really funny.
So Penn State comes in second overall, behind Iowa by 1 point.
Damn, that was your prediction, right? Iowa was going to win it.
I don't think it would be that close in real life. And the person who made it even said that they did it a little bit so it would be closer.
Yeah.
For more entertainment value. Yeah.
Fair.
But Penn State ends with 4 champs and 6 All-Americans.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 All-Americans.
We'll take it.
So Shakur Rashid comes in 7th. Gotta love the result there after battling back a tough year. Roman Bravo Young, 3rd place. You know, champion in my heart, but I can understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
And then we get championships out of Nick Lee, Vincenzo Joseph, Mark Hall, and true freshman Aaron Brooks. I mean,
let's go, boys!
Can't ask for more.
Congratulations, boys!
Fletcher came back, was down 5-0 after in the second period, and came back for a huge overtime win.
Wow!
So I mean, a lot of grit out of Nick Lee, not Fletcher. A lot of grit out of Nick Lee, just really going out there and showing that Penn State heart.
That's a story that you couldn't make up if you tried. You know, like that's real life. That happened.
Exactly.
I was going to ask you because I saw, and maybe you liked it, I saw a tweet from Vincenzo Joseph when it said like Vincenzo Joseph champion, and he retweeted it like, you have no idea how sad this makes me.
Yeah.
But, like that sucks because like for the fans, for us, it's probably really fun. But for like
this was a chance for Penn State to have 2 4-time NCAA finalists in Chenzo and Mark Hall.
I mean,
Chenzo has been a 3-time champion.
Damn.
That's a very elite group of wrestlers. 3-time NCAA champions.
Yeah. And it really does suck. Like I said, I mean, obviously I made the joke at the top about, Tom Brady being the serious thing. But of course, this coronavirus, this COVID-19 is incredibly serious. And I understand why they have to do what they do. But it does suck for the athletes who are in their last hurrah.
And listen, we understand that there's more important aspects to it than sports being canceled. But this is a sports podcast. That's what we're going to focus on.
Absolutely.
And like I got to say, Penn State fans are a little spoiled. I think if Chenzo had won, he would have been our 4th 3-time NCAA champion, I think.
Yeah.
No, 5th.
Okay.
Bo Nickel, Jason Nolf, Zane Rutherford, and Ed Ruth, I believe.
Okay.
The 4 that we have. I mean, most schools don't have one person who does that.
Yeah.
It's an insane achievement.
It's unbelievable, man. So shout out to all those guys. And I know I mentioned basketball, wrestling, but all spring sports. I mean, there's baseball, there's lacrosse out there, hockey. I mean, there's so many sports with a bunch of kids that are impacted and affected. So yes, of course, there are bigger things than sports, but like you said so eloquently, Pat, this is a sports podcast, and our thoughts are to those people in this moment. In the bigger moment, to everyone who's sick and dealing with real world things. But right now, we feel for you, sports guys and gals.
And, for the rest of the year, sports are what distract us from the drudgery of everyday life. Mm-hmm. They're what makes us feel something bigger than ourselves. Yeah. And then at this time when we're all shut up with nothing to do and nothing positive to think about, they're not even there.
Yeah, it's really tough, and that's what I was saying. Like it's funny to see how people are dealing with this online. So like, you can't gamble on anything, which is killing me. Up until last week, I was doing New Zealand soccer and Turkish basketball. They were like the only things left. Now, if you go onto the betting account, it's esports. You can bet on when sports will come back. So it's like, will MLB have their first game by July 3rd? Yes or no? Which is like so morbid to think about.
I take the over on that.
Yeah, it's tough. And then most lately, you can bet on Jeopardy, which like. That's a taped show. If someone works at Jeopardy and wants to hit me up with what's going to happen on tomorrow night's episode, I'll give you half my winnings. Illegal, but I don't care. But some other things like people are doing, like I said, watching old games and highlights. So you see a lot of people posting just, their favorite, like the Saquon run from the Rose Bowl is going around. A lot of old games and old tournaments that people are watching. I saw one, Ben Jones, Penn State writer, did like a watch party for, I think it was 2017 Michigan game. And basically, like, I guess found the game on YouTube, and then there's this app where like you can click the link, the video's playing, and everyone can talk in like a chat room. It was kind of cool. I guess hung in there for like 10, 15 minutes just to.
2017, is that the one we won by like 42?
Yeah. Good game to start with.
So why would you do that? The game was over in the first quarter.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, you're trying to bring positivity. You're going to see Penn State score a lot. But that was kind of cool. I've seen people do like, hey, let's watch the Big Ten Championship and live tweet it. So like, those are fun. I don't know. I don't think I get quite as much enjoyment out of that. Like, I like watching the clips here and there, but I'm not going to sit down and watch like a full game personally.
I can't watch a whole sporting event that I already know the result of.
Yeah. Not even know the result of that I've lived through and watched the entire thing already. But hey, to each their own. You got to stay positive. But one thing I did like that I thought was pretty cool is our friends over at Walk On Red Shirts podcast. They do a college football podcast. They put together a bracket of the best college football teams since 2000. We started, and it was 64 teams, just like in a March Madness would be. We started with 3 teams on there. We had the 2016 Penn State team, 2008 team, and 2005 team. Unfortunately, we have no teams remaining. This is bullshit. There's collusion. I know one of the guys running that account is an Ohio State fan. I'm calling bullshit, personally.
Who'd the 05 team lose to?
Yeah, so let's run through it. 05, which, and it's funny, we were talking with some of our followers just because I put out a poll like, hey, which one of these 3 are you taking? And recency bias took over. Like 2016 team was a big winner in our internal pool. But 05 lost to the 2008 Utah team, 52% to 48% in the first round. I can't.
That 05 Penn State team was so good.
Yeah, and it's funny. And
they had one loss, and like people forget how good that team was because that was the year that Texas and USC went to the Rose Bowl.
Yes. Yeah, which was one of the all-time games. Like, that's a classic. But yeah, Penn State.
Like, if there was if there was a playoff today, that's a playoff team. And that's potential you see them in the college football championship instead of one of those 2 teams.
Which is crazy.
I mean, maybe not, but you could have.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, it's funny, and I told people, like, for me, my fandom with Penn State starts at 08 when I went to school. And like, I know of the old teams. I know.
Mine started in 05. That was the first year I was at Penn State.
Like, I didn't follow them, so like I know, like, obviously I know their greatness, but I didn't live it. I don't have that same like emotional attachment, I guess. But I looked up the 2008 Utah team that they lost to because I was like, I can't think of a single person on this team. So I looked it up. Do you know anyone on the 2008 Utah team?
I mean, this would have been after Alex Smith, right?
Yeah. So let's save some time. I looked it up, and I read every single name. Like, the only one I even recognized was Matt Asiata, who's like a backup in the NFL. They were a really good team. They went undefeated. They beat Alabama in the Sugar Bowl, I think. This is obviously pre playoffs, so like they didn't make it into the national championship. But apparently, they were a really good team. Couldn't tell you a single person on there. So it's bullshit. It's a Twitter poll. There's a bunch of Utah people with nothing else to do, so they flooded those votes and drowned us in the first round. Bullshit. The 2008 teams. That's my freshman year team, the one I love. Darrell Clark, those trio of wide receivers, Derek Williams, Butler, Norwood. It was an awesome team. They won in the first round. I don't know who they beat. I didn't look that up. They lost in the second round, 76% to 24%. Shellacked by the team we were just talking about, 05 Texas. As much as I love the 08 team, that Vince Young Texas team, it's hard to argue.
Yeah.
I didn't like that it was 76 to 24%. Like I was saying, we got to get our voting up a little bit. And then my favorite of the teams, 2016 PSU, obviously one that has a near and dear place in my heart. We just lost in the second round to 2017 Bama, 51 to 49. So damn. There was like 10 minutes left. Including people vote. Because they're getting a good amount of votes, but it's like each poll has like 200 something votes. So the difference in percentages is like 12 votes. So that one was tough. 2017 Bama team is the one that I believe Jalen Hurts played most of the season, then Tua took over at the very end in that game against Georgia. I don't know, man. 2016 had that magic. Trace, Saquon, Deshaun Hamilton, Godwin. Like, I would put them up. I would put them up against that 2017 Bama team. I would. I don't know I'm a homer, but I would.
I'm not sure how our offensive line would have held up against Alabama defensive line, but
that's fair. But I trust in Trace and Saquon to get the job done.
That's true. Hey, I do too.
But it's a fun poll. It's still going on. They're down to at least the Sweet 16 of the Elite Eight. I'll be honest, I stopped following it because our teams are not in it. But if you're into that thing, check them out. Walk on Red shirts. They're pretty cool. What else we got? This will be wrapped up soon. Quick little episode for you guys. NFL draft apparently still happening end of April. They've canceled the live show in Vegas. They're trying to figure out how to do it. Mock drafts. I love mock drafts now because all these crazy trades and free agencies in NFL have happened. So like where Yetur is going to land is going to change very drastically from a week ago. Buffalo was a team that people were talking maybe for him. And we said, well, no, they need a wide receiver. Well, guess what? They just got Stephon Diggs. Now they can go get an edge rusher.
Yeah.
The Vikings are losing an edge rusher, so maybe they need him now. It's all kinds of shit. But I saw a tweet today. I actually just tweeted out earlier. Did you see this one from Nicole Lynn?
Nope.
All right. This is live, guys. This is live radio. Nicole Lynn, she's an agent. She's an NFL sports agent with Young Money Sports. She tweeted out, juniors who declared for the NFL draft should be given an exception this year and be able to return to school. With pro days being canceled and no 30 visits or private workouts, there are some juniors who would benefit from returning during this unprecedented situation. What do you think about that?
I think that's fair.
Yeah. I do. I didn't want to just ramble. I wanted to give you a minute to talk there, man.
Yeah, I mean, especially like guys who really guys like KJ Hamler, who could return and do some good.
I knew you were going to go there.
Yeah, I think KJ will still go top 2 rounds and stay anyway. But if you're a guy that was trying to push into those top 2 rounds with a good performance at a pro day or something like that, it's not.
Yeah, and I mean, you've said it before. There's some statistic that we still haven't looked up is like, if you're going to go in the first 2 rounds, you should go early. If you're not, you shouldn't go at all. So I retweeted it. I said, yeah, I really love this. Obviously, this is a crazy situation that no one could have predicted. And I agree. Etor and KJ are still gone. Love them to death, but they're gone. But I looked it up, how many underclassmen don't get selected every year. So per NFL.com, the last 3 years, 2019, 30 of the 103 underclassmen that declared did not get selected. That's 29%. That's a lot, man.
Can you imagine leaving school early and then not getting picked?
It sucks, right? 2018, 37 of the 106. That's 35%. And then 2017, 28 out of 95 is 29%. So the last 3 years, 29 to 35% of juniors who declared for the draft did not get picked. That's scary, dude.
Don't leave early unless you're going in the first 2 rounds. Come on.
Exactly.
Guys.
But shout out to Nicole Lynn, agent, who had this idea. I think the NCAA should do this because it's the right thing to do. But that pivots right into the NCAA continuing to do the wrong thing. Did you see this report? They are apparently holding off on efforts to figure out how players can profit over their own name and likeness. Remember that whole big thing a couple months ago, how they were going to figure it out? Now they said, amidst the coronavirus, we're going to put that on hold.
New conspiracy theory, NCAA released the coronavirus. It's just
Mark Emmert, you bastard. Like that, it pisses me off, man. Like, what could possibly be stopping you from that? This is a positive episode, so we're not going to spend a ton of time on that, but NCAA, figure it the fuck out. What else I got? Last one, yeah. Speaking of pro days, Penn State didn't have a pro day, and that sucks for. Talked about this with a couple followers. Who do you think it sucks more for? A guy like KJ or guys like Garrett Taylor or some of the others that didn't get the invite to the combine?
Definitely the guys who didn't get the invite to the combine. I mean, with KJ, it's the difference between going second to maybe going first. There's still, even if he ran a great 40, I still think there's not like an incredible chance that it would move him up that much because people already know he's super fast. But yeah, he's still got he's been just highlighted more as a player. He has had more of a chance to show what he's done than guys who just get less attention than him.
Yeah. And I get that, and I totally see where you guys are coming from. I took the other side of it personally, because guys like Garrett Taylor, or I'm trying to think of others who didn't get invited. Gonzalez, maybe Steven Gonzalez, O-lineman. The difference between them being undrafted versus drafted in the 6th or 7th, like not a lot of difference in money, and you're still going to have to fight for a roster spot. If you're a 6th or 7th rounder, you can get cut before training camp. Like it happens a lot. The difference for KJ from first round to second round money is massive. So it sucks for everyone. Feel for everyone. I do wish KJ would have got his chance. So that sucks. But
Yeah, and he
positivity.
didn't get to run at the combine either, so he didn't,
Right.
it's not
Right.
like he had the chance in combine to show everyone what he was made of.
Yeah. And like I said, I think he did. I'm sure he crushed it in interviews. I think people know the type of talent that he is. And I think he's locked pretty firmly into the second round. Somebody could have fallen in love with him at a pro day, bumped him up to first, but
Yeah.
we'll see. I saw Tommy Stevens. This tweet, Tommy Stevens had like a private pro day and sent film to all the teams. And at the very bottom, he was comparing his stats. He said he was top in, I think, the 40 and in something else, and said compared to 37 other QBs and tight ends. Tommy the tight end?
Huge.
Is he about to
I
bring the
can see
lion?
it.
Is he about to bring the lion to the NFL?
Hey, I like it.
It's a possibility, man. But that's it. Like, I don't have much. There's some things going on in the sports world. I think NFL offseason has gotten us through the last couple of days at least. But we're gonna hop on here, once a week. Like I said, try to get some people on here, keep us all sane, and hopefully we'll be able to have college football on time and with no interruptions this year. That is my hope. I hope everyone is safe and healthy and people stop dying, of course. But in the confines of these walls, I hope we get college football. Pat, what else you got?
I'll
man?
sacrifice a few people for college football.
We're kidding. We do not support that message. Anything else, man? We're about 30 minutes. This is a nice nugget of an episode for people.
Yeah, hopefully we could give you a nice, distraction in the middle of all this. Thanks for coming and listening to us. We appreciate it. Share it on to all your Penn State sports friends.
Hell yeah. And if you guys have
Give
stuff,
them a little distraction.
Yeah, if you guys have stuff you want to hear or want to talk about, like I said, I know everyone's kind of doing the same things of posting old games and doing like hypothetical questions. If you got things you want to talk about, let us know. Obviously, please stay safe for real. Hope you and all of your families are doing okay. Hopefully this passes sooner than later. We can get back to normal life. But for now, try to keep it exciting. Try to keep it positive. We are.